The word for today is moist. That's a negative word. I don't care what anybody says. Today at Millstone Firewood, I am going to check a bunch of logs and see if they are ready to sell. 4 cords of predominantly oak firewood. We have Gunner the dog. What we're going to do is Gunner and I are going to go through this pile here and check some of the bigger logs. I'm going to have to do a little digging, I'm afraid, but I want to check some of the bigger ones and see what the moisture content is, because I'd like to sell this. I moved the camera back a little bit. One of my many superpowers is finding nests of ground hornets and other nasty stinging insects. So I moved the camera away a little bit, so if I have to run, I won't knock the camera over. I see a couple candidates on the end that aren't too far down. Since this is oak, it takes a long time to dry. Ooh, that had a nice sound to it. So there's a big piece. It's cracked on the end. It sounds dry, but you can't go by that. You can't go by sound. You can go by age, the indicators, age, cracks in the end, the sound that it makes when you hit it with another log. But those are just indicators that it might be dry enough. The only way to really test is with a moisture meter. This wood has been sitting here for about a year, and I'm really hoping that it's dry enough to sell. I'm not going to sell unseasoned firewood unless the customer asks for it. Customers might ask for it, at least in my area. They ask for it because they don't want to burn totally dry seasoned wood in their outdoor wood furnaces. Most of them feel that the wood burns up too fast when they do that. I'm not entirely sure. I think that the lower the moisture content, the better off you're going to be, but that's just me. There's 6 pieces out of this pile that we will check. This is obnoxiously loud, so I'm going to start it and then I'm going to mute the volume so you won't hear anything while I'm splitting, or it'll be very, very low. So I've kept all these pieces together. So that's one, etc. And now we're going to go to the inside of where I split, because that's going to be the part that's the most moist. Most moist? Am I allowed to say that? What we have here is a General, that's the brand, General moisture meter. I think I might have gotten this at Lowe's. I don't remember. It has different settings. It's set to wood. You can do building, which is for testing like the drywall in a building or wall studs after a flood or something like that. There's a little calibration procedure. You attach the electrodes to the circuit board inside through these little holes, and you'll get a reading. And I think it's supposed to read around 19 or 20%. That's close enough. Close enough for our purposes. So we're going to go right in the middle. Wow. 23, almost 24% moisture. This wood has been sitting here for a year. That's oak. So this I expect to be the same. Almost 23%. Let's check the next. $22. Another piece. This is not ready. This has been sitting here a year and it's not ready. Now here's a smaller piece. Let's see what you look like. 21. It's 18. Now, for example, if I do this on the end of the log, the end of the log is reading 6.0. So don't let that fool you. If you're not checking inside, you're getting a false reading. The next piece, I'm expecting the same. Yep, 23. 28.2. 21%. $21.4. We have multiple flavors of oak around here, being rock oak, white oak, red oak, etc. There's probably more than that I don't know about. 22. 23. 22.9. So as much as I would really love to sell this firewood, I can't. I'm not going to do it because it's still moist. And we don't want moist. We want nice dry wood. Right, Mauser? Dry wood is best, isn't it? Okay. This pile I did in June of last year. This one I did in August. And I think this one was August or September. If the one down at the end isn't dry, these are not going to be dry. Just for fun, I split some of the smaller pieces to see where they're at. Wow, even a small piece. Okay, so this one was the smaller of the two. And it's right there. It's right at 20%. So that piece can be burned. This piece was just slightly larger. And that piece is not ready to burn. I'm going to roll up most of my covers and let the sun and wind get to this even on the top. Since it's now summertime, it'll be an and it gets pretty warm here in the summertime. So hopefully the wind and the sun will get this dried out by the fall. Then maybe I can sell it. But for now, this is just inventory, sitting here waiting. When you're testing moisture, anything under 20% is good. Anything higher than, say, 21%, it's still too green in my opinion. I split these pieces of wood yesterday so that I could test the moisture content. So these are freshly split open pieces as of yesterday. Yesterday they measured 23% moisture or more. Now today, let's find it. Side that I split open, there we go. Today I'm going to test them the same spot, and look at that. It sat for 1 day. So that gives you an idea that in order to get an accurate reading, you have to split these. You can't just check the end, or if you check the end, you're going to get a false reading. If you check the side, get this here, you're going to get another false reading. It's not what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside that matters. So there you go. Sat 1 day, and it was down to 16%, up from 20, 22, 23%. So that's a huge difference. So if you enjoyed my little dissertation on moisture, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because that really helps me build my channel. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you later.